Oh boy, this is pretty insane. App Academy just fired all of its cohort leads. If you didn't know what a cohort lead was, it's basically a TA who is available to answer all your questions outside of your typical lectures. As a coding bootcamp grad myself, having TAs around me was super crucial for my software developer journey because surprise, surprise, I had a lot of questions. I just didn't know how to code when I was first starting off, and having these TAs was kind of this security blanket or someone that was advocating for me to get better as a software engineer. Before we dive into this a little bit more, let's just rewind a bit and just give you some context of what the heck just happened. There's a Reddit post that goes into a lot more detail about this titled App Academy Fired All Cohort Leaders for AI. So definitely check out that link in the description below. Apparently, students noticed that all of the cohort leads were kicked out of Slack. They couldn't reach them personally, and later they just found out that all of the cohort leads got fired. No goodbyes, nothing. Just literally that day, communication was lost. And you know what else happened? Surprise, your whole experience at App Academy has completely changed. Again, if you're not familiar with this bootcamp and the importance of student leads, hear from the students themselves. This is a clip taken from a 25-minute call, and I think 25 minutes is laughable to try to mitigate the situation and calm the students down, but that's for another time. Let's get into this call and just show you what the students really felt about the situation.
So you mentioned that laying off the cohort leads was done to maximize student value, maximize ROI for student value. But to me, the end of days that our cohort lead John was going through with us were something like that was like the highest value. That was tying everything in we learned for the day and demonstrating like real world applications. So what benefit are we seeing? Like, how is this maximizing ROI for us? I understand, resources may be needing to be reallocated, but what's the substitute here?
Yeah, definitely. So some of the responsibilities that the cohort leads had are being reallocated to other team members. So you won't see a complete change there in terms of what the cohort leads were delivering. Now, in terms of what the value, where the value shifting or where, what are we getting in exchange for this to some extent? So we are really focusing on the efforts that we think and have seen to be most successful in getting folks jobs in a more challenging market. So there's just a very different kind of job search approach, job search support level, educational level required in the job search for folks in a market such as this that especially lasts for as long as this market seems to be lasting for versus a more a hotter market.
For folks that don't know me, I'm Beverly. I am in the January 2023 cohort. And I want to say that John, our cohort lead until today, has been a extremely integral part of our community. I think we had a really high number of folks passing like assessments, excelling, succeeding every week. And I think I wholeheartedly give him a lot of credit for us being so successful.
Yeah, hi, Stefan Winter. My question is, you mentioned putting this money you're saving to resources and tools and software. And having run and sold 2 companies myself, I kind of now know that usually takes months and months to build out. And in the admission process, we were sold on this whole cohort thing. So are these tools and software ready to go now? Is that stuff we're not going to benefit from at all, but paying for cohort leads that now we don't have? What can you show us what are these tools and software that we're getting instead?
Sure. So the tools and software are used to support the instructional staff and coaching staff and other administrative staff. So they will not be student facing. There have been investments that have already been rolled out in software that is in the either has been purchased in the procurement process or will likely be invested in. There's of course a phased approach. So in the same way that that's a process that is already unfolding.
But essentially, your answer was our tuition is staying the same. We lose a big resource we had, but there's nothing you can say, we're giving you this software starting today or starting next week. There's nothing that you can show us physically in the AA Open or somewhere that this is what you get now instead of this. All right, well, I speak for myself, but other students too, I think, and I would really appreciate if my tuition stays the same to see a really well laid out, this is what's changing the job search and what are we actually getting in exchange for losing end of days and very valuable resources? Not just speech, but this is how we're changing job search or this.
Yeah, I apologize. We do have to run to another meeting for another set of students, but we will definitely do our best to get back to you on some of these questions. So appreciate you folks submitting them, and appreciate you taking your time out of your day to hear us out here.
This is sad.
That's ridiculous.
Please definitely leave questions in the Zoom or the Google form, and we'll review them and address them.
Give us no security.
So yeah, this does not look good at all. Like, who is going to be replacing these cohort leads? Apparently no one. App Academy is going to reallocate resources and move all the responsibilities that the cohort leads to the instructors, who are probably overworked anyways. And then they're going to start implementing this AI resume software builder to help them in their job search process. If you listen to this call, and I encourage you to listen to it fully because it's only 25 minutes, none of this stuff is implemented yet. So current students that just got this bombshell of the news about all their cohort leads getting fired won't even benefit from the supposed software technological updates, these AI updates that's supposed to help you find a job. Imagine paying somewhere between $20,000 to $31,000, anticipating some personalized learning, and then all of a sudden finding out that the cohort leads, who are one of the most personal people that you could get in touch with, are going to be gone. How is this even right? Software takes time. The CEO said it's not even student facing. So why is it fair that these students are the ones that have to suffer while the coding bootcamp is just trying to figure things out? It does not make any sense to me. What was so valuable about these cohort leaders was that they knew the curriculum because they took the courses themselves, and they could provide valuable information to the current students. But that is getting completely lost in replace of what I anticipate to be free articles or free video recordings. I am going to guess that they're free because I'm sure they'll just find some random articles on blog posts or Twitter posts or even some Medium articles. So I don't want to guarantee that's what they're going to do, but it's probably a safe assumption. Supposedly that's going to give you a better opportunity to find the job because they're going to invest that potential money into actual AI software. I don't really buy it because regardless of how well you put effort into the job search market, if you do not have the skills, there's no way that anybody's going to hire you. Yeah, you might get more contacts from recruiters, and that's a big stretch to say the least. But if you do, what are you going to show for it? How is the school going to make sure that what the student is learning is going to be valuable when you remove an integral part of someone's coding journey? It just does not make sense to me. So I just can't figure it out. The icing on the cake is that, funny enough, if you go on their website in their payment options, you'll see that the cost went from $20,000 to $14,000. I wonder why, right? We definitely know because there's just no more cohort leaders anymore. If you listen to this call, on top of dropping the bombshell that there are going to be no more cohort leaders, they're even considering adding TypeScript into their curriculum. Don't get me wrong, TypeScript is great and it's really needed, but this school does not have any content around it. So why am I paying $20,000 to $31,000 for a curriculum that the school is just trying to figure out along the way? You would think that changing the structure mid-curriculum would warrant a price decrease as well, right? Wrong. The response that the App Academy gave was that students signed a contract, so they don't even get a discount. This is a tangent a little bit, but I really hate the law sometimes because it only benefits the business. It just really screws over most students and people. I just want to emphasize this is not fair at all. How can you remove leaders that help the students directly in their pursuit of becoming software engineers? Move that responsibility to instructors and then charge the same price. You're literally losing a resource and trying to spread that responsibility to a couple of people at best. It makes no sense. And apparently you can't even quit and get a refund. No. Instead of getting a refund, what you can get is a $256 per day bill for every day that you attended. Let that sink in for a bit. It's really scary and sad because if you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, you might stumble on their website and think, oh my God, what a great opportunity. Look at their hero page. It says, change your career, change your life. You scroll down even more, it has a 93% placement in San Francisco, and a 95% placement in New York. Those numbers are fake. If your numbers are this high, why do you need to cut staff in favor of better job placement? Are you trying to get from 93 to 95 and 95 to 97? That makes no sense. Fix those numbers because you are misleading potential students and robbing them of tens of thousands of dollars. This is so wrong and predatory. I don't know what the long-term plan is for App Academy. I don't even talk about them that much on my channel, but this is just ridiculous. I'm going to keep following this news to see how much the tech community responds. Maybe they don't even care, but if you are considering a coding bootcamp, please stay away from App Academy. Maybe they'll get better down the line, but right now there's just too much uncertainty about what's going on in terms of who is going to be teaching you, what is their curriculum actually going to be, and why do I need to pay for such a large amount when I'm not even sure what I'm actually getting. All right, I need to cool down because as you can tell, I'm a little passionate about this and I just don't want anybody to get screwed over by predatory practices. Definitely be cautious out there, stay safe, and as always, keep building developers. Your time will come. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.